Hi, good evening. My name is Father Rayappa. Today I'm going to talk about Christmas crib. What is the origin of uh, this wonderful practice of decorating crib? Every house, especially the Christian house, they will have their own crib decorated in the house, just remembering the Nativity scene of Jesus Christ. The Christmas crib, it is known as crèche in French, dates back to St. Francis of Assisi. Even before that, to the early Christianity, like 380 AD, and in the catacombs of St. Callistus, they found a nativity scene in the early Christian's life in the catacombs. But obviously, it is more of recent origin, maybe 800 years ago. So, origin is St. Francis of Assisi. It was in 1223 that the first crèche or crèche was celebrated in the woods of Greccio near Assisi. So, a place called Greccio in Italy, that is the place where St. Francis of Assisi decorated the first nativity scene on Christmas Eve in 1223. There lived in that town a man by the name of John. His full name was Messier Giovanni Velitta, a very holy man who stood in high esteem. Blessed Francis loved with him a special affection because John despised the nobility of the flesh and strove after the nobility of the soul. In other words, he was after spiritual wealth than material wealth. So, Blessed Francis called upon John about 2 weeks before Christmas and said to him, here I am going to quote from St. Francis of Assisi from the book written by Thomas Celano. If you desire that we should celebrate this year's Christmas together at Greccio, go quickly and prepare what I tell you, for I want to enact the memory of the infant who was born at Bethlehem, and how he was bedded in the manger on hay between a donkey and an ox. I want to see all of this with my own eyes. Unquote. The good and faithful man John departed quickly and prepared everything that the saint had told him. The friars, who had come from many communities, gathered around St. Francis of Assisi, as did the men and women of the neighborhood. They bought candles and torches to brighten the night. St. Francis of Assisi arrived and saw that everything had been prepared. The crib was ready. Hay was brought. The ox and the donkey were led to the spot. Greccio became a new Bethlehem in 1223. The crowds gathered and rejoiced in the celebration. Solemn Mass was sung. You know what? St. Francis of Assisi, dressed in deacon's vestments. Actually, it is said that out of humility, he never attempted to become a priest. So, dressing up as deacon, St. Francis of Assisi sang the gospel. Then he preached a delightful sermon to the people. It is recorded that after the Mass, St. Francis went to the crib and stretched out his arms as though the Holy Child was there, and brought into being by the intensity of his devotion, the babe appeared and the empty manger was filled with the radiance of the newborn King. St. Francis of Assisi's idea of bringing Bethlehem into one's own town spread quickly all over the Christian world, and soon there were Christmas cribs in churches and homes. The Moravian Germans brought this custom to the West, to Canada and United States. They called it puts. The oldest known picture is the Nativity scene dating from about 380 AD that was a wall decoration in a Christian family's burial chamber, discovered in the Roman catacombs of St. Sebastian in 1877. So in the beginning I told you catacomb of Callistus. I am wrong. So they discovered the catacombs of St. Sebastian. There is a legend that at midnight on Christmas Eve, animals have the gift of speech. Animals began to speak. This gift was bestowed because the humble farm animals gave the infant Jesus his first shelter and warmed him with their breath. Thus, they were rewarded with the gift of human speech. However, in most countries it is considered bad luck to hear them talking, so no one has ever reported doing so. Cattle bow to the east, and bees hum the 100th psalm in their hives. Some legends insist that this occurs on Old Christmas Eve, January 5th. St. Francis Assisi, who loved animals because they too were God's creatures, extended special kindness to animals at Christmas, urged farmers to provide their oxen and donkeys with extra rations of corn and hay. I quote, "For the reverence of the Son of God, whom on such a night the Blessed Virgin did lay down in the stall between the ox and the donkey." Unquote. At Christmastide, St. Francis of Assisi scattered crumbs of bread under the trees so the tiny creatures could feast and be happy. Such a emphatic festival, giving food for little creatures and to bees and to care for the ox and the donkeys, those who were first friends, first neighbors to Jesus Christ when he was born in the manger. So Christmas is about being kind to animals, and forget about eating animals on that day. These creatures, maybe before the Mass, they are all present with Jesus Christ, and after Mass, they are on our table. So let us examine our practices during Christmas, how we can change. Christmas should be kept without spilling the blood, because it is not only the festival of humans, it's also festivals of animals and plants. That day, celebrating without eating meat will be a fitting celebration. Maybe we are not ready for it right now, but in future, I think it will happen, it will come to pass. So that is my dream, and let us pray for it. And thank you, and happy Christmas.